Thank you, Mr. Morris. As introduced, my name is Yong-soo, and I'm in charge of investment information team and FTA Policy Center in West Korea of KOTRA. At this time, I'd like to present investment environment of Korea and some key indices showing where Korea is and status of trade and investment, Korea-EU FTA opportunities, success cases, and just a brief introduction to Invest Korea. Okay, let me start with Korean economy at glance. As Mr. Kim already mentioned, Korea's GDP was $1 trillion, which is one of the 15th. But if you see GDP growth rate, it was 6.2%, which is over 2 times of OECD total. And the trade export was $466 billion, and import was $425 billion. And this year, trade volume is expected to be $1 trillion next month. And maybe next year, the trade volume could be much bigger because of Korea-EU FTA and Korea-US FTA. In terms of size, Korea is very small, as you already know. But in terms of economic territory, the story is totally different. Korea is expanding economic territories to all over the world. If the Korea-US FTA goes into effect, then the Korean economic territory will reach 61% of world GDP. So that is if you locate your businesses in Korea, then you can access to 2/3 of the world markets without any trade barriers. And Korea has also well-organized logistics networks. So whenever you locate your business in Korea, then you can easily access to overseas market through airport, port, and well-organized highways. Here is the Incheon International Airport, which was voted the world best for 6 years, and world second for cargo volume. And here is the Busan Port, which is the world 5th largest for cargo handling. And more the Korean companies are going global. Here are Fortune Global 500 companies from Korea. 2001, the only 10 Korean companies were included in Fortune Global 500, but last year, the 14 Korean companies were included. As Korean companies are going global, global companies are coming to Korea as well. So as of now, 10,000 foreign companies have their presences in Korea and doing business in Korea. So here are example Korean-based European companies. As you will see here, Tesco and TI Automotive, Standard Charters, and Jinkox and Johnson Matthey, UK companies. And here are Korea-based American companies, Google, eBay, IBM, Cisco, HP, Intel. So most global companies have their own presences in Korea. And I'm sure the Korea-EU FTA and Korea-US FTA will accelerate the crowding in global companies into Korea and the Korean companies going global. So let me give you some indices which shows where Korea is. First, IMD World Competitiveness. For overall performance, Korea was ranked in 2008. Korea ranked 31st, but last year Korea has stepped up to 22nd, And if you see competitiveness landscape, Korea is very strong in infrastructure, such as scientific infrastructure and technological infrastructure, and also strong in employment and domestic economies, but weak in international investment and prices. And here is another index, World Bank Doing Business, which ranks the economies on their ease of doing business. If you see Korea's ranking, in 2007, Korea ranks 30th. But this year, Korea stepped up to number 8. So there is business environment in Korea is getting better and better. Here is another index of Korea, the Global Manufacturing Competitiveness Index, which is done by Deloitte and US Council. As you may see here, for current competitiveness, Korea ranks 3rd. And for competitiveness in 5 years, Korea also ranks 3rd. So Korea has a very strong competitiveness in manufacturing sectors. Okay, let's move on to trade and investment. EU, USA, China, and Japan are the 4 major partner economies of Korea. The total exports to those 4 major partners economies account for 53% of total Korean exports, and import from those 4 economies account for 51% of total export import of Korea. If you see the trends in all 4 economies are very similar. It has been increased to 2008, but last year it dropped. 2009 it dropped because of the financial crisis from US. Last year it recovered, but the recovery rate is different among the economies. I like to skip in this slide as the previous president mentioned. Let's see FTA flows of Korea. As you may see here, Korea's outward FTA has increased since 2006, and but as the inward FTA is the kind of a steady state. For inward FTA, source countries, the United States, Japan, UK, Germany, and France. And recently, investment from China, Malaysia, and other emerging countries are increasing. And for outward FTA, the Korea is investing in China, United States, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Netherlands. In 2009, the investment in Canada has increased because of the Korea National Corporation acquired the Canadian company. What are the Korea-EU FTA opportunities? Who will have a benefit from it? I'd like to skip this. If you categorize the trade products by volume and tariff, you may have a graph like this. Benefits from FTA is bigger when tariff is high, and the export volume is huge. So from these 2 factors, we can say the automobile industries, whose tariff rate is high and the export volume is huge. So automobile industry will have maximum benefits from Korea-EU FTA, and the petroleum products, industrial machinery, and steam engine equipment will have high benefits, and ships wireless telecommunication products will have medium benefits. And for EU size, the automobile and automobile parts and industrial machinery and pharmaceuticals will have maximum benefits. And electronic equipment and petrochemical products and the machineries will have high benefits. It is a shared recognition that the bilateral trade agreements will have a positive impact on cross-border investment between signatories and between them and third countries. But it is not easy to estimate exactly how much FTI will increase. So just for your reference, here is example estimation, which is done by IBM 2008. According to IBM's due to Korea-EU FTAs, the FDI into Korea is expected to increase by $1 billion to $2 billion. What Korea-EU FTA impacts? What Korea-EU FTA does make impacts on investment environments? I think the first trade surge between Korea and EU, especially in some industry sectors such as pharmaceutical, auto parts, industrial machinery, and cars and shipbuilding, wireless telecommunication devices. As trade surge in those sectors will improve business performance, their business performance, and their investment capabilities. And second, the corporate restructuring in vulnerable companies will be facilitated, investing merger and acquisitions. And third, as Mr. Hurley already mentioned, the service sectors will be newly opened. So the joint venture and the greenfield investment will be expected to increase, especially in retail and wholesale trade and transportation services and financial services and engineering or printing and progressing sectors. And through the improved access to EU markets, in order to utilize the improved access to EU markets, third country companies will invest, will make more investment into Korea from China and Japan. And lastly, the regulations and investment barriers will be eased or removed, so the overall investment environments will be improved. Again, what are the Korea-EU FTA investment opportunities in Korea? For financial investors, I can say the some businesses, their performance will be improved, especially in wireless telecommunication devices and chemical products, car and auto parts, and industrial machineries. So if the business performance is improved, then the stock price could be increased proportionally. And for financial investors, M&A opportunities will be increased because of the corporate restructuring due to intensified competition. And for strategic investors and companies, investment in newly opened service sectors will be increased, such as transportation services, financial services, telecommunication services, and media services. And the European companies is expected to establish bridges to Northeast Asia in Korea. And lastly, if you locate your businesses, especially manufacturing base in Korea, then you may have benefit from Korea, EU, FTA, and Korea investors. Let me give some success cases. First, passport. As you may see here, their sales has been increased by 4 times over 20 years. And Volvo, which is a Swedish company, their sales have been increased 5 times over 10 years. And as the ambassador already mentioned, Tesco is making great performance in Korea. As you can see here, their sales are increasing consecutively, but there were no downturns. I'm from Invest Korea. Invest Korea is a national investment promotion agency in Korea. So we are providing the full services to foreign investors from pre-investment staging to post-investment stages. And so we have offices in London. And so if you have any question or if you need information about investment in Korea, then you may contact to our London office. This is my presentation. Lastly, I'd like to mention for your reminding, as Mr. Morris already mentioned, Korea-US FTA is starting now. But I'm sure the Korea-US FTA will goes into effect sometime soon. So in order to get first move advantage, you should move quickly. Thank you.